Get ready, because it's time to finish up my reviews of the double feature of Glicked. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the long-awaited big screen adaptation of the Broadway phenomenon, Wicked Part 1. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. At the end of the video, if you think I've earned it, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. Now let's get into it. Wicked Part 1 starts off in Munchkin Land right after the death of the Wicked Witch. Glinda, the Good Witch, played by Ariana Grande, descends upon Munchkin Land to spread the good news. However, before she can float back to Oz, some curious Munchkins start asking her questions about her past. That leads Glinda to tell the story of how she and the Wicked Witch, Elphaba, played here by Cynthia Erivo, met at Shiz University of Magic. Yes, it's actually called Shiz.
You're green.
And went from enemies to frenemies to friends. This poses the question, are people born wicked, or do they have wickedness thrust upon them? Now, I'll be honest. I knew I was going to see this movie no matter what. It's one of the biggest movies of the year. I'm trying to grow my movie review channel. It made sense. But I wasn't super excited about it. If you've been here a while, you know I like musicals.
Gay!
That wasn't the problem. It was the cringe as hell marketing for this movie. Whether it was Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande holding hands and crying during every single interview they had, or Cynthia Erivo's complete meltdown about that fan edit of the poster. That stuff,
Cringe.
But my wife and mother-in-law are huge fans of Wicked. They've seen the show several times, so I went in hoping for the best. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this movie. Let's start with the production value. Incredible. The sets here are practical, meticulously detailed, and vibrant. It feels like you're stepping right back into the world of The Wizard of Oz, but everything's even bigger and more immersive. Sure, there's CGI used for the magical elements, anthropomorphic animals, flying, spellcasting, but the movie knows when to go practical, and it definitely pays off. This movie actually looks like it cost $150 million to make, which is definitely refreshing after some recent blockbusters. Disney.
Kill it! Kill it!
The costumes, completely stunning, so colorful, and also meticulously detailed. They pop off the screen and bring the characters to life in a way that feels both faithful to the original Broadway show and to the Wizard of Oz aesthetic. Now, let's talk about the cast. Going into this, I was a little skeptical about the new Glinda and Elphaba. I never saw the original show, but I did watch clips of some of the musical performances from the Broadway show, and the performances there by Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth are just iconic. It was always going to be hard to fill those ruby slippers.
Ha! Damn right, huh?
But Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, they absolutely killed it. Grande, in particular, surprised me. I've never been her biggest fan, but her recent SNL episode, the best of the new season, by the way, sold me on her acting chops.
You got a tiny pecker or something?
As Galinda, if you know, you know. She starts off as this bubbly, kind of ditzy, holier-than-thou bully, and you kind of love to hate her. She floats around, bouncing her hair with every line, and delivering kind, backhanded insults with such precision that it's honestly hilarious. She also has two pretty funny cronies that follow her around school, played by Bronwyn James, and Ariana Grande's SNL buddy Bowen Yang, who has pretty much perfected the sassy gay friend archetype at this point. Then, as the story progresses, Galinda becomes a much more well-rounded and sympathetic character. Her emotional arc is satisfying, her performance is great, and her vocal talent is undeniable. On the flip side of that coin, Cynthia Erivo's Elphaba is just heartbreaking. From her ostracized upbringing to the bullying that she faces at Shiz, all because of her green skin, she is such a sympathetic character. But the movie never wallows in her misery. Instead, it uses those moments to power her character and build her up into someone that you genuinely want to root for. And Erivo's voice is just phenomenal. Her performance of defying gravity in the climactic moments of this film will have the theater kids melting into their seats. Her chemistry with Ariana Grande is also very spot on, making their frenemy to friendship arc very compelling and heartfelt. Now, what about the supporting cast? Michelle Yeoh as Madame Morrible is solid, but she doesn't really have any standout parts and is mostly just there to push the plot along. Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard of Oz is, well, Jeff Goldblum. He kind of just plays himself in every movie, but he's still entertaining. But another standout in the cast that I thought was really great was Bridgerton's own Jonathan Bailey as Prince Fiero. He definitely brings the charm with a fun, energetic presence that livens up the whole film. His chemistry with both leads is great, and he gets a standout musical number that held the whole theater tapping their feet. Peter Dinklage is also here, providing his voice to a goat professor at Shiz, and he does such a good job with that vocal performance, I didn't even realize it was him until the credits rolled. And lastly, there's Ethan Slater playing Buck, a munchkin that is hopelessly in love with Galinda, and he nails that lovesick personality. Now, let's talk about the story. For the most part, it's well-paced and very engaging. The opening sets the stage very well, the sequences at Shiz University are fun and engaging, and the dynamics between Galinda and Elphaba are compelling. But I have to admit, I'm gonna say my one complaint about the movie here, It's long. At about 3 hours, this is longer than the Broadway show, and it only tells the first half of the story. Though I have heard that they pulled a lot of stuff in from the original book, so it kind of makes sense. That being said though, the first half drags a little bit towards the middle, especially during some of the early scenes at Shiz University. Thankfully, the second half absolutely flies by. After a pivotal scene between Elphaba and Galinda, the movie kicks into high gear, building to a super powerful emotional climax that had both my wife and I in tears. And the ending feels very satisfying while still leaving just enough unresolved to lead into part 2. So, what's the verdict? If you can get past some cringe content from the press tour and Cynthia Erivo's ridiculously perpetual victim status, Wicked Part 1 is absolutely worth seeing. It's beautifully crafted with top-notch production design, stunning costumes, and a cast that brings their all with acting, singing, and dancing. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo absolutely shine in their roles. The story is emotional, the musical numbers are epic, and the ending sets up Part 2 perfectly. And I cannot wait to go see it next year. And that's my review of Wicked Part 1, finishing up the Glicked double feature. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. I said it at the beginning. Please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss any of my new reviews. While you're at it, you can scroll down in the description below, find the links to my socials, leave a comment, let me know if you saw Wicked and what you thought. And if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. It'll take you to my review of the first part of the Glicked double feature, Gladiator 2, or just over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews and my shorts. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time for my review of Moana 2.